What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. It's Dennis from Simplify Investing. I'm coming at you again with another stock video, so if you do appreciate these, please hit the like button, and let's get started. So as you can see here, I pulled up Yahoo Finance. We're talking about Dunkin' Donuts today, Dunkin' Brands, ticker symbol TNKN. It's a brand that I've been really excited about just because of the new collab that Dunkin' Donuts did with Charli D'Amelio. If you're not familiar with who she is, she's a 16-year-old TikToker. She has about 80 million followers on TikTok, and she averages about 2 million views per TikTok video. This is a natural collab, so if you follow her, most of her videos prior to this collab was actually her just walking around with Dunkin' Donuts and featuring Dunkin' Donuts coffee in her videos, and she was really aware, and she told all her audience about how great Dunkin' Donuts was, and Dunkin' Donuts wanted to make it official and come out with her own drink and have it named after her. So little things about Dunkin' Donuts, as you could see, has a $6.26 billion market cap. They are profitable. They have an EPS, trailing 12-month EPS of 2.62. They're trading about 76.16. This stock does pay a dividend. As you can see here, it's about $2%. Around September 5th is when the collab actually started. So a few things I just wanted to bring up real quickly was their balance sheet. It's not the best. As you can see here, it has $500 million in cash and cash equivalents. But the thing that's really worrisome for me, but not so much just because I'm not holding this stock for the long term, but it's something to keep in mind as a shareholder, is their total assets. So they're at about $3.8 billion in total assets. But if you keep scrolling down to total liabilities, it's about $4.4 billion. So as you can see here, they are their current ratio is less than 1 with the whole pandemic that's going on. It's a little worrisome, but like I said, it's not a stock that I plan on holding long term. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, I wanted to bring up a few different estimates from analysts. As you can see, there's 24 analysts covering the stock for the earnings. Average is 0.80, which I think is quite beatable. Also, revenue average estimate is about 344 million. Let's go to the next. So right here, this is one of the articles that came out and they mentioned it. As you could see, September 5th, TikTok star Charli D'Amelio shares the sweet story behind her Dunkin' collab. Again, I wanted to emphasize it's a natural collab. As you could, if you go through her TikTok, all her TikToks, she would usually have a cup of coffee in her hand, always Dunkin' Donuts. And I think that her audience is obviously a younger audience, but they weren't necessarily Dunkin' Donuts fans, which makes this a really unique opportunity because it's bringing a lot more new customers to Dunkin' Donuts. I feel like a lot of the younger millennials and Gen X and all those stuff, they're focused on Starbucks. So if she gives a little bit of a push to Dunkin', that more than likely they're going to have repeat customers, right? If you go there one time, you really enjoy it, you might come there back like more. So that's what I'm really hoping for. So I pulled up Dunkin' on Google Trends. I just took a screenshot of this. As you can see, I pulled up the past 5 years, focused just in the United States. I do believe this collab is only available in the United States. So as you can see, it's spiked tremendously. Those dotted lines mean that it's still not up to date. It's not 100% accurate, but it's still a pretty good indicator that there's a nice spike of the demand for Dunkin' Donuts and the search term for Dunkin' Donuts. These are different related searches, as you could see, how much, what's in it, the Charli drink, etc., etc. And for those who don't know, all the Charli is 3 pumps of caramel syrup, cold brew coffee, and whole milk. So it's a very simple drink. The problem with the drink, unfortunately, is that it uses cold brew, and the stores, unfortunately, sometimes run out of cold brew. They don't make enough. But I think that increases demand and makes it even more exciting for people who really want it. So this is just a video that I found on YouTube. You can find it on our TikTok. This is just her just dancing with her drink, trying to promote it, right? So I'm going to play this.
Been in love with you for a minute. Yeah, I love everything that's in it. Since I was young, you had me sprung.
Get what you want. Let's get it.
Ice, milk, and a bit of cold brew. 1, 2, 3 with the caramel. I sip, I swirl. That's how you Dunkin' world.
Pretty catchy, huh? So this is another video. Again, you could just see her, sipping on her Dunkin' Donuts drink right before she starts her dance. Just throw that promotion out there. And she just continues dancing. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that a lot of people are actually talking about this on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff, right? So what I did was I just Googled, I went on YouTube and I searched the Charlie Dunkin' Donuts. So for people who are really not familiar with stuff like this, a lot of people, when there's like a new food collab, for example, like the Travis Scott burger, or for example this, people like to make videos or in reviewing the actual food or the drink, right? So I just looked it up to see what like the actual interest count or like the views on these videos, and as you can see, it's pretty damn high. It's about 21,000, 424,000. Now, one thing to keep in mind is depending on how big the YouTuber, the more views are going to get, right? If you're a very small YouTuber, it's going to be quite hard to rack up those views. But again, like 21,000, 439,000, 31,000, 39,000. So I think this is quite interesting because people, for some reason, like to watch other people drink these drinks. They find it amusing and they want to hear what other people are thinking about these drinks. But I love this. This shows a lot of interest for the product. Next up, again, so I did Google Trends again. This is 3 different comparisons. I always like to do Dunkin' near me or whatever store you're looking near me because a lot of people tend to look for that on Google. The Charlie I also searched up, which is the red, and the yellow is Dunkin' the Charlie. So as you can see, it has a pretty nice spike. And right now I'm hoping that this spike is going to sustain because that's the most important part. Yes, this spike is pretty big and significant, but if it doesn't sustain, then it's not really interesting, right? You want to see a spike that continues to hold its spike. Next up, I went on Twitter. I wanted to see what people were talking about, so I searched up the Charlie Dunkin'. As you can see, the Charlie drink from Dunkin' is so good. 10 out of 10, recommend. First review back, the Charlie from Dunkin' Donuts. Felt like an absolute idiot ordering this. This shit is dumb good. Again, like, this is another thing that got me really excited. So this person tweeted the Charlie drink from Dunkin' Donuts, second time drinking it. So as I previously mentioned, what I'm really excited about is that this is going to bring people who don't necessarily go to Dunkin' Donuts back to Dunkin' Donuts, right? I taught my dad about Charlie and Dixie because he saw Charlie on the Dunkin' Donuts app, LOL. So you could see that a lot more people are becoming aware of Charlie D'Amelio because of this collab, even people that necessarily wouldn't really know about her, right? For example, this girl's dad. Now, one thing to keep in mind that I'm a little bit worried about is because a lot of Dunkin' and Starbucks and all these coffee shops, they rely a lot on different office people to come in, purchase their coffee for their morning, and go to work, right? So we're not really necessarily having that because there's a lot of work from home. And also, they're catering. They don't do much catering, but people usually go in, they buy those large chugs of coffee. They sometimes buy some donuts for the office if you have a meeting, and they just, sit it there. So if you want coffee or donuts, you just go and grab. So that's not really happening right now. It's mostly just like retail and people just coming in, picking up their morning coffee, just 1 or 2. Or if you're craving a coffee, then you go there. But the people that usually go there day in and day out aren't necessarily going. So that's a little worrisome. But again, let's continue reading some of these tweets. Dunkin' Donuts needs to add the Charlie to DoorDash. I'm pretty sure they are in DoorDash, so I'm not really sure where that came from. Let's see, look, felt so basic this morning ordering the Charlie drink from Dunkin', but it's actually good. So it's getting pretty good feedback. It's a little bit sweet. I actually went to Dunkin' Donuts and tried it. I went to 3 different locations. I went in and I just asked employees. I kind of like picked their brain a little bit and said, hey, what do you guys think about the Charlie? And they said, hey, the demand's through the roof. We're selling out most of the days. He says that most people that come in are ordering it, and he says it's not necessarily just a younger demographic. It's also some older people as well. So that's exciting to hear. Another thing that might help Dunkin' Donuts, and it's not necessarily going to push the needle for them, but it's oat milk. Oat milk is definitely skyrocketing in demand. It's honestly, I see it passing almond milk. So it's pretty exciting. I think a lot more people are going to try it just because the only one that used to do this was actually Starbucks. But now that Dunkin's trying it, we'll see what happens. But again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps helps me grow this channel. So if you have any criticism, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. And take care.